Okay, this is what I visualized creating. I mean, not the exact thing, but I didn't create these pictures. My wife did. She's a photographer and a bird lover. These are her actual original pictures. And she also created these beautiful, I think they're beautiful, curtains. She put the blinds in, and she painted the walls. My oldest daughter came by and trimmed that, painted the trim around the ceiling after I put the ceiling tile in. So I've had some help here. This isn't all by myself. So I'm pretty proud of it compared to what I had. Oh my goodness. So this video, this bunch of videos is going to be how I did this. And I'm going to begin by talking about putting the sink in. I didn't get a lot of videos to that because it's such heavy, awkward work. I just couldn't do it. I just couldn't get pictures of it. But not good ones. But I did make a little video here about where I got it and stuff. And then the video after this is going to be me learning how to use Pex Plumbing, that is. So stay tuned for that. And then after that, I'm going to put a wood stove in the living room. And I'll see about getting a video on that. So we're going to have a lot of stuff coming up. So stay tuned. I've got videos putting that exhaust fan in. I got videos of all kinds of stuff. But this one here is just going to be kind of an introduction to tell you what I wanted to do. This is what I ended up doing. And there's going to be a series of videos of me doing these things. So stay tuned. Thanks for coming by. Bye. Well, I haven't got the saw out yet, but I'm running out of things to take off. Took off the jams. Well, I got the dryer out. I put it in the shed for right now. And it's a 220, and I don't have 220 out in that shed, so I'm probably going to sell this washer and dryer. But this washer, I don't even know if it works. What I'm going to do, put it on small so I get the little water in here as I can. Well, so far so good. It's washing. I don't see any water yet. I'll keep waiting. While I'm doing that, I'm going to carry some stuff out. Well, it says it's finished, so let's take a look. Oh, they're dry. It works. It works. They're not dry, but they're spun. Okay, I'll start over. I didn't have my camera on. I just had a picture. Got these units, these two units at the Restore with Habitat for Humanity. Makes money off of it. People bring them in, give them to them. So it was too good a deal to pass up. But really, I was looking for a long counter with a sink in the middle, but I couldn't find it. I went to two of the stores. Neither one of them had anything like that. And I wanted a long counter. I wanted a 6.5 foot counter. And that's what this has, except it has two sinks, which probably isn't a bad deal because this is a one bath cabin. And if you get a bunch of kids here or something, they can both 2 or 3 of them could come in and brush your teeth at the same time and share it. So I went ahead and got it. I'll show you the counter. I got it upside down right now, but it came with the sinks, and it's got the lines and valves on it. I'm not sure how I'm going to hook those valves to the plumbing, because this place has been replumbed in the last year, and somebody used this. I call it Pex. I'm not sure what it is, and it looks really nice, doesn't it? He labeled everything, blah blah blah. But guess what he didn't do? He didn't give me any way to turn off the water from outside. It's crazy. And he didn't give me any way to turn it off to the lines. Like, this used to be the washer, so it's going to be a sink now. There's no valve here. I mean, I don't know. It just seems wrong. He did put valves on the top of the water heater in case he's going to have to change the water heater. And that's as far as he went. He put valves on the shower. I don't know what that was about. But he didn't put any valves on the cold. So I'm going to go into Lowe's tomorrow, see if somebody can educate me on how this works. It's got little rings on it. It feels like they've got a tiny crimp to them. I'm going to have to find out about this stuff. I wrote down the information on it. It's called Super Bite. I think that's what it's called. Something like that. Let me look. I had a piece of paper I was writing on. Trying to get my ducks in a row here. They called it Super Pex. Sorry, Super Pex. So it must be Pex, which is kind of like the same stuff they used in trailers. But they always, whenever I seen that, they usually just used a clamp. I don't know what these little rings are. I'm going to have to find out. I'll probably have to buy a tool to install them. These little rings. So I'm going to have to buy a bunch of valves. I plan on putting a valve in here first. I'll have to turn off the pump, get rid of all the pressure, somehow cut it, put a valve in here. Then I can run my pump back up and turn that off and start working on some of these other lines. So I'm going to have to put a small valve in here. Say a line started leaking underneath the house. I want to have a valve right here, and that's the hot water, and a valve right here, that's the cold water, so that I can just turn off just this part and still use everything else in the house. I don't want to have to turn off the pump and drain all these lines out. That makes sense? I've never seen anybody do plumbing with this stuff. It's got like a manifold. I know it's a newer version of what I'm used to, but I don't know. It just seems like they missed the most important thing. My God, if I got a leak in here, say a faucet would pop off or something, I don't want to have to go outside, turn off the pump, and drain the line. By that time, the house is going to be half flooded. I would reach in here and just turn it off a valve, and that's it, you know? So that's what I'm going to do tomorrow. I'm going to go get educated. I watched a bunch of videos on, but everybody just kind of talks about how strong they are, what it takes to blow one out, and all these different kinds of fittings. I just want the same kind of fittings. I didn't see anybody using this stuff. They did talk about rings, but they didn't tell you how to use them. Hopefully somebody at Lowe's will tell me. They've been pretty good at Lowe's. So that's what I'm doing. Got so many irons in the fire here. It's like, but everything revolves around this water. You know, I have to get this water so I can isolate it. Then I can actually fix things. But once I'm under the house, I want to get it hooked up, plumbed, and up into here. And in the other one. Yeah, it's twice as much plumbing. But, hey, I couldn't find the sink, and I wasn't going to pay $500 for an old cabin that I'm going to be in half the time. Not even half the time. So that's what I'm planning on doing. I had to notch out the this big heavy trim they had around here. I notched it out. Notched this one out over there. And I've got everything notched out except what's behind that plumbing. And that'll be pretty simple to get out once because I got both ends open, so I can just pull it out. Then I'm going to have to turn off the power, get into this. He had 240 over here, and he had 110 here. And I don't think there's anybody sells a cover plate for something like that. Looks like they kind of botched it together. But anyway, once I get it turned off, I'll pull it out where I can see what's going on in there. And I'm going to try to get power 110 up into this wall and over to an outlet here, a ground fault, and come out of here and go to that one. So that each sink will have its own outlets. That way you could theoretically plug in 8 things. Most of them would be like cell phones and stuff. But that's what I'm doing. And everything, this bathroom's taken forever. I'm almost done with the taping and floating on it, on the sides. Just got to do one more coat, but I don't want to do it until I get some of this other stuff done, because I'm going to bang the walls up. So, anyway, it's going to be an ongoing project, so you're going to see a lot of videos of it. A lot of different oddball things I have to do to make it what I consider livable. It's livable now, but it's got this little sink that somebody dropped in here. It's not hooked to the wall or anything. It's just half-assed. So my plan is to get rid of this. Then once I get this done, I'll get rid of this. I'll cut those tubes that go to it up here and put valves in them in case I ever need to, another output somewhere. I can just turn the valve on. He's got extra nipples here, but he just plugged them with something. See, he just ran down and plugged them. I guess I could do that, but then I got to cut it and do that. If I have a valve, say if I had a valve like this in that, then I could just hook onto it. Yeah, I know it'll cost a little more to have an extra valve, but hey. Once I get that all done, my plan is to extend this wall out past here, and then build up a frame, bring this, so that this, actually where this sink is, will actually be like a little utility room. I don't know if I'll go all the way to the corner or not, but come out to here, over, and then have a door, just a regular door here. And probably have it open. I don't care which way it opens. And should come right along the side of the shower here. Well, if I ever want to make a bigger shower, I'll have a nice wall here so I can make it bigger here. I got plenty of room over here. I can move it over some. As far as I'm concerned, this shower is more than adequate. But my wife seems to think she'd like to have one like at the house. Anyway, that's what I'm doing. We'll see how it ends up. I've kind of labeled it here, kind of rough idea of where I'm going to put things before I start getting them. Once I get out of the house, I'm going to be a mess. I'm filthy, dirty, tracking mud in here and dirt. If it rains tomorrow, I'm really going to be in trouble. But that's where we're at. This thing's whoever had them in the house, they even left the screws here. Some of the screws down there. Those screws were laying in here, but here's the screws that came with it. Looks like those 2 big screws. Same way with the other side. I haven't really. Yep, this one's the same way. This is all one piece. Or yeah, I bought the whole thing for like $100. Can't beat that. I'll rub it down, clean it up. It'll look pretty good. Thinking maybe I should take these valves and see if there's any way I can hook those. I don't know what that stuff is. Maybe that might hook the Pex. I don't know. Be nice. These valves are expensive. These stainless steel valves. Of course, I don't know if they work. I hope they do. tailpiece there. This is one heavy mama. I had a heck of a time getting this out of my truck and in here by myself. Without breaking it. It probably weighs 150 pounds. And it's awkward because those sinks are dangling out of it. I'll have help putting it in, I hope. This lip sticks up. This will run up the wall 5 inches. And it's going to stick over the end here about a half to 3/4 of an inch right here. That's what I wanted. That's the reason I notched it and put it back against the wall. I want it to hang over here. More the better, as far as I'm concerned. And notice that one down there's got a little bow in it. And you'll never see that when you get the sink on it. I don't know where in the heck this came from. Wouldn't it be great if those holes would all line up between studs or floor joists? Sure, I bet that'll happen. Anyway, I'll tell you more later.